Hello and welcome to another episode of the Devils Down Under. I'm your host Bryce, and we want Glazers out. Say we want Glazers out. Now enough of that. But in today's episode, we're going to be talking about the big game that's going to be occurring on Monday night or Tuesday morning in Australia versus Liverpool, of all people. Round 2, some could say, but we all know it's round 1. Pre-season does not count. The other one we're going to be talking about is obviously the most exciting thing I think that's happened in the last week, also probably the last decade. There's some real momentum with the Glazers finally, hopefully selling up or minority shares out of the club or whatever it is in that regards. We'll also go discuss the Liverpool game in terms of the lineup, as well as discussing the latest transfer news that has occurred this week. So, let's get into it. Sorry, it's a bit late today as well to start off with. It's just been a very hectic day with the family. So, apologies for that. But, we are, and let's get into it. So, let's start off with the big thing that's going to happen. This week, it's come out a few days ago that, obviously it's been happening for about a week now with Michael Knighton saying that he was trying to get a consortium together to buy Manchester United. Now, money to my ears, obviously, he doesn't have enough money. The consortium's come out saying they don't have enough money to actually invest into the actual club or the infrastructure, just enough to purchase it. But it's obviously got the tails wagging of a lot of other people, i.e. Sir Jim Ratcliffe. Now, Manchester fan obviously bid on Chelsea earlier this year with a failed, I think it was about a £4 billion bid. But obviously he's a Manchester United fan, and the most exciting thing that's come out of this is a spokesperson for him has actually come out saying that, Sir Jim Ratcliffe, if obviously Manchester United is being put up for sale by the Glazers, he would like to purchase it, if it is possible. But obviously also he may even do a minority stake in the club if there's a long-term view into becoming a full ownership for the club down the line. Now, obviously, I don't even know how to go with this because it's been so long since we've had a legit reason to think that the Glazers may sell up or getting to the stage where they may sell up. But it definitely seems that way. Obviously, we've got the lack of spending in this transfer window, trying to really do the cheapest deals. We know they do that every year and they panic buy if things start getting a bit hasty, but this actually seems to be a legit time where they could look to start moving on to the club and moving out of the club and hopefully spending their money elsewhere. We know, obviously, the online tirade towards the family where people are actually going online and giving their family negative reviews on all their businesses and really bringing down the aggregate. While I don't condone it, I'm not going to say no to it as either because they have ruined my club, so they can feel a little bit of what we felt recently as well over the last, I wouldn't say recently actually, over the last decade. Now, obviously, besides Jim Ratcliffe, there is apparently another 2 or so other consortiums that are in the running to potentially buy Man United if they do go up for sale. And I think with that tweet that Elon Musk put out, it's put it out there that Manchester United is still an attractive brand. We may not play attractive football. The way we run is a shambles. Everything in the club is a shambles. But Manchester United is Manchester United. We have some of the best fans. I mean, I'm from Australia, originally South Africa, but that's a different story. But yeah, look, I wake up at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. to watch games. You get people in India, the USA, obviously Europe as well, and the UK being the big ones. But yeah, people all around the world, and it's very rare to go somewhere around the world where you can't find a Man United fan. So yeah, look, the Glazers, while they're bubbled up in their US and never actually make it to games, don't actually get to see these fans in the grounds, and I don't think they ever really want to. As long as the money's lining their pockets, I don't think it's something that's really a priority for them. As long as their money ticks over, they get their dividends, spend as little as they can to keep the fan base happy, and that's it. But look, yeah, so That's about Man United possibly being taken over. Now, to move on from that, but it's also kind of tied in a little bit, the game against Liverpool, our biggest game of the season, one of the biggest games in world football, obviously one of the most televised games as well, and watch games in the world as well. So, I'm just going to say it now. This is not pre-season. Yes, we won 4-0, but geez, we are going to get absolutely demolished in a couple of days' time. I just don't see a way of us winning. Yes, Liverpool haven't had the greatest of starts to the season, but neither have we. And I mean, they're on a different league to us. I don't think we can match them in any department. Even with, I think, Nunes is now out for 3 games with a ban. There's talks of, I think it's Jota's injured, Firmino's injured. So yeah, look, they could play their second string team and they'd beat our first string. So I'm not looking forward to the game as such, but what is exciting me about that game is there's apparently going to be planned protests, much like there was last year. Obviously, the game got called off, and I think they're a bit more wary about that. So the way the players will probably get to the games and everything like that will be different. It's not so much about causing a disruption to the game itself. It's more so everything else around it. And I know I'm hearing contradicting things from other people saying, oh, you're not a real fan if you don't go into the game, or you're not watching the game, or whatever it may be. The statement from this is, and it's plain and simple, if we empty Old Trafford, it's been hashtagging all over Twitter for the last week. Basically, do not sell your tickets if you got a ticket to the game. Just don't go in. And the reason of that is all eyes are going to be on it. As I said, it's one of the most watched games in world football. And so obviously everyone's watching the game. If we're not going in, it's sending a strong message that we don't want the Glazers in charge. We're not going to be watching, even in our most highly anticipated game of the year. We're not going to put up with it by watching the shambles that they've created and willing to, and still be a part of, if they don't sell up. So, and along with that, obviously, sponsors are watching. We've already had Team Viewer come out saying they're not going to be renewing their contract with us. And it's a couple of years away, but they've come out to distance themselves almost from Man United already. And it's very new, that sponsorship. So it's really interesting to see that develop. But yeah, look, I'm all for the protests. It's a real shame that I can't be there, but I will definitely be there in spirit. And I really, really hope that it sends a strong message that Man United is not to be reckoned with. Obviously, peaceful protests. I'm not condoning anything violent or anything untowards. But yeah, look, it sends a strong message, and I really hope. I just really hope the Glazers sell up. To be honest with you, I've had enough heartache from them. I really don't want any more. Now, even if there's a long-term plan in terms of Sir Jim Ratcliffe getting a minority stake and them buying it afterwards, as long as they're out of our club, I really couldn't care. I just don't want them in our club. So yeah, look, hopefully these protests really send a strong message on the weekend, and it does actually get a big following. I'm really, really hoping. It seems to be galvanising a few different sections of the Man United fan base, and there seems to be a few big wigs now, obviously commenting on it in the Manchester United fan base as well. So yeah, let's see what happens in regards to that. So moving on, obviously, where things could... Man United's going to try blindsiding you, as we've seen in this last week. Obviously, it's been a disastrous week for the Glazers. So we're seeing things like Man United bidding for Casemiro from Real Madrid, one of the best centre defensive midfielders in the world. Now, it looks like we're going to get him. We're going to be paying stupid wages and a stupid transfer fee for a 30-year-old. He's still going to be miles better than anything we have, and he will make us a better team, but not on his own, obviously. But I think the other counter to that one is what's happened to De Jong. It's gone very quiet on the De Jong front, and it looks like even though we spend 13, 14 weeks chasing De Jong and putting off every other bid, i.e. 2 games into the season, we're 0-2. As I said, it's going to look really bad if we go 0-3. That's 9 points potentially lost by not getting the players in early. So it's come to be. Yeah, it looks like they're getting some transfers done, and I wouldn't be surprised if they go and get Anthony, they go and get another midfielder, a backup goalkeeper, that guy from Inter Milan who plays right back. I'm having a mental blank. The other Dutch guy. I wouldn't be surprised if in the last week and a half or 2 weeks of this transfer window they go and get all that done. It's because the Glazers are trying to get everything off them and saying, oh, look, we've got money to spend. If the money was there to spend, they would have spent it 8 weeks ago, 9 weeks ago, like every other club that is efficient and proficient and willing to be a football club and not a business has done 8, 9 weeks ago, instead of leaving it to the last 2 weeks as we always do, and then panic buy, pay overs, pay stupid wages, and then we're not able to move players on, i.e. Eric Bailly looks like he's going to go out on loan because he's on stupid wages. We had to loan out Alex Telles. We had to loan out Henderson. We can't sell players because they're on stupid wages. Now, I'm not saying Casemiro will be a flop if we get him, but we're looking to pay him, I think it's around about £350,000 a week. If, say, in 2 years' time, look, he's had it, he's 32 years old, he can't hack the pace of the Premier League anymore, we're trying to move him on, we ain't going to get buyers for him. No one's going to take a guy in £350,000 at 32 years old. So yeah, it's just another part of the problem. But look, I'm not going to complain getting him if we do, because he's a really good player. But also, look, Anthony, Ajax is now obviously demanding 80 to 100 million euros, which is stupid money. Had we got him a few weeks earlier, obviously, and not chase De Jong and see what our budget was going to be left after that, we would have got him for a lot less. So Man United's trying to shift it on from that, and we're looking at Carrasco, who I don't think is a bad player. He's just not my player. I mean, we got Sancho already, we got Rashford and Martial. He gives us a bit of depth in the place that we do need, but we want players who's going to come in and be a starting 11 player, not fighting for places with the other ones. Anthony would do that. He would probably displace Rashford in current form if the manager has the balls to do that. But look, I don't know what's going to happen in that front. And then further on to that, Rabia, it looks like that deal was done. He's basically rejected us because we weren't paying the stupid wages. So he wouldn't come for the love of the club. He wanted to come because there was money being thrown at him. It's the whole transfer window has been a shambles. I can see it being a really good window in these last 2 weeks, but it's the Glazers trying to distract everyone by getting these good signings. Oh, we've got a fancy play, rock up to the games now because you want to see your shiny new toys. But I think Man United fans are clued on now this time. There's a lot of chatter on Twitter saying they're trying to blindside us, and it's not just me with this view. It seems to be hundreds of people online stating that they can see through what the Glazers are trying to do. And it's been a long time since I think that I've seen that in the majority of the fan base that at least entertain the ideas online. I'm not saying I've spoken to Man United fans in the UK personally, but that seems to be the gist of things that are coming out from what I've read online as well, and through Twitter and all those kind of things. But yeah, look, hopefully that we get a few more transfers in, because I still want to enjoy watching Manchester United play, even though it's going to be another age recruits that we're getting. And then for the Liverpool game, basically going back to that after we talked about transfers, I don't see anyone getting in before the game. It's a bit too late to get new players in for the game, so we're stuck with the same team that we have. Now, I've put the team up here on the side. On this side this time. I got it wrong the last time, and my wife gave me crap, and so did a few people when I did this, and the team showed up on this side. But anyway, the only change that I would like to see, and I think that Ten Hag will do, which unfortunately, it's a real shame, I think he's going to drop Eriksen, and he's going to put McTominay back in to that midfield too, alongside Fred. We don't have the depth up front to really change things around for starting positions. And there's rumours going around that Martinez is actually going to start with Varane. Yes, I can see him playing Maguire, because it seems like Maguire is undroppable for some reason. But I would like to see Martinez and Varane playing. They can play that high line, so we can actually press things a bit better than what we can with Maguire. And Varane obviously offers that height as well. If people are saying for Martinez is too small. But yeah, look, McTominay, as I said, playing in that midfield as well. Now, I think he's going to go with that because we have to be a bit more defensive-minded. Yes, Brentford put 4 past us. And so I can see Ten Hag trying to maybe close up shop, because they are a very good attacking team. Yes, they're missing a few key players, but they still shit all over us. So I think he's going to go with that solidifying midfield too of McFred again, much to my despise, and I really hope it's the last time we see them playing together, or at least starting games together. But yeah, look, that's what I think is going to happen. But so yeah, protests are going to happen. A few more transfers look like it's going to get over the line. Glazers looks like they're finally going to sell. I think that's the big key point from this whole conversation. There's momentum building, and I would like to see that momentum carry on. That's exciting. It's scary. I mean, I'll be even more heartbroken than I currently am about the club if it doesn't come to be. But it does seem like there is something brewing that's never been there before. Ex-players are now coming out talking about the Glazers. Potential buyers are physically coming out and saying, yes, we would like to buy the club if it's for sale. I don't think we've seen this for a while. So, yeah, look, I'm going to keep coming back to it. I think this is the big story that has broken over the weekend. It's probably going to play out over the next week, probably the season as well. People are saying, oh, look, they're going to try getting out over the next few years. Some people are saying they're looking to sell the club as a whole straight away. I don't know. But, look, I hope it's the latter. I really hope they sell it out straight away. And this club needs clearing out from top to bottom from some coaches, not all. Directors of football, playing staff needs breaking up. Board members need breaking up. This club just needs a full overhaul from a person who's going to see this club as a football club that we all grew up love seeing in the 80s, 90s, 70s. Not that I saw it in the 80s and 70s, but in the 90s. Just to being that club that we all love again. It's been made to ruins for too long. The leaks are coming in from the roofs and they're doing fresh licks of paint on the stadium to make it look like they've done some works. It's exciting, scary, and as I said, could lead to heartbreak again, but it's a risk I'm willing to take, and I'm sure a lot of you guys are willing to take as well. Now, I'm just going to add it in there just for the game against Liverpool. Even though I'm still excited to see us play, just hopefully we can put up a fight and maybe hopefully implement Ten Hag's way of playing a bit better this time compared to the last two games, more so what we did in the preseason. I still probably see us losing 3-1. That's wishful thinking. I can see it being a bit higher than that, but 3-1 is what I'm going with. We always seem to perform a bit better against the top four to an extent. But yeah, look, 3-1 is what I'm going with. If you like what's happening, please keep sending in your comments, likes, subscribe if you like the channel as well to keep up to date with videos that get released. And we want Glazers out. Say we want Glazers out. Thanks for joining me and enjoy your weekend. And hopefully we get a win on the against Liverpool in a couple of days' time. But highly unlikely, but one can wish and one can dream as well. Good night, all.